All right, welcome back. So today, where are we? We're at week 9. No, week 8, advanced composition. We fittingly, it is October, and we'll be doing a Halloween themed book project. And then you'll have your matching assignment. Uh, then week 9, we will do the working with camera raw and one other lesson. We're gonna do 2 lessons next week. And then after next week, we're throwing the book away and we're going to do all weird assignments that I made up to challenge you. So there'll be no more reading out of the book after next week. So with that said, let's get started. And we are actually going to start with bridge. I'm going to have you start with bridge for once. I don't ever really have you do this that often, but for this project, we are going to be opening like 9 files at once. And what it's going to do is it's going to open all of those into a single document in Photoshop. So everything's going to be right there. It's going to be layered up and we can work from there. So fairly simple. You just have to find the lesson folder. So wherever you keep your lessons, mine's on the desktop. As you can see, I'm in Adobe Bridge and I got the desktop right there. And on my desktop, I have lessons, which I just double clicked on. And it is lesson 9. And I'm going to just double click on that. And then we're going to go in even further. So I'm skipping. Remember, I don't do every number when it's stuff like, look at the end product. Then look at, like here, we can do that. There's the end product. That's what you're going to be creating. Ooh, I don't like that. So that's it. But we need to open all the parts and pieces, which are under Monster Makeup. So we need to select all these and then open them in a special way. So let's make sure we open them in that special way. So to select all, because of the way they are, and I don't have 1,000 images because we just have a nice small folder, you can click and drag and grab them all. And we need every one selected and they all show up here. So just click and drag and make sure you just grab them all, if that makes sense. Or you can click on one, hold down shift, go to the last one, click again. But a lot of times I just find it's easier to just click, drag, and pull. And again, I'm in Adobe Bridge. You need to know where your lesson files are. And we're going to click and drag those. We're going to go to Tools, under Photoshop, and then load files into Photoshop layers. Boom. Now Photoshop's going to open and it's going to start populating my layers here. Now, as you can see, I have all those are on layers and they're all named. And then some are nicely marked in red, one's not marked. And that's an indicator to us that somebody was working on this and they want us to know something. So the most thing that they want us to know is by indicating some are in red and one isn't, is that probably Franken should be at the bottom. That's the model, the dude. So I'm going to move him to the bottom. All right. So we're going to just rearrange a couple of the layers. I'm going to move the guy to the bottom. They want monster hair in the layers panel. Drag the monster hair layer to the top of the layer stack. So we're just going to be rearranging our layers. It should kind of go in effect as to what order we're going to be placing these. But right now they said, put the monster hair on top, put the Franken guy at the bottom, and we can be done with that part. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the top layer and I'm going to click on the lowest red layer. I'm going to call it a red layer while holding down shift, and I'm just going to click again. And what that's going to do, it's going to activate all of the layers. So I'm just going to go from top, shift, bottom, click again, and I activated all these layers. So that way, when I size something, we can make sure that we size it correctly. And I'm just going to take, we can go to, do they want us to transform? No, we can just use the move tool. I'm going to make sure my show transform controls are on because they were turned off because I was doing other stuff. So that's up at the top. So if you don't get your little indicator, I know it's really hard to see right there. If you don't get your indicator, it means you turned off show transform controls. And guess what? I do that all the time. So you just always have to remember, like, oh, I'm not seeing that handlebar. Where is it? It's there. We just need to find it, turn it back on. And then I'm just going to drag and reduce this size by 50%. Now, how do I know 50% has happened? I'm looking up here at these markers right there. And as I drag down, you're just going to see that number decrease. And I'm going to go to 50. I did open in Bridge. I started in Bridge. Do you need me to do that again for you? Okay. And then I'm just going to double click to activate that. So in the beginning, do you have Bridge open? Okay. Select all those files. I talked about it 3 times. Select all of them. Now go to Tools, Photoshop, Load files into Photoshop layers. Sure. All right. Now, let's get our dude arranged. So we're going to bring him down. I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to get fit to screen. So I hit fit to screen just to help us out. Now I'm going to make sure I'm not selected on everything. I'm going to do some rearranging. I'm going to make sure I'm selected just on Franken. And I'm going to move it down. Kind of get it centered there, move down. I'm looking at, I'm referencing the image from the book. And then if you wanted to, once again, we can move all of those images like kind of on top of his face-ish. They're not all going to line up, but this is where we're going to get to the artistry. So I got all those moved over. It's all good. It looks like a jumbled mess right now. That's the way it should look. Now we're going to zoom in on the head. And we're going to start selecting certain layers and working with that layer only in order to do what we need to do. Now I'm going to pull my layers bigger so we can read that whole title. Now I'm going to zoom in just with the zoom tool. And again, when I need to reposition, so I'm going to hold down. My hand is always on the keyboard because like when you zoom and then you want to move things, you touch the space bar and then you can click and drag and move his face around. So I can keep open 2 panels. So every time you see that little hand appear, that guy, high five, high five. I'm holding down the space bar. And then when I click and drag, I can move my artboard around. That way, when I'm zoomed in, I'm not having to do other tools. I'm not running over someplace else. I just hold down the hand and move it and get it centered. Like don't work, if you're working on something and your subject matter is up in this top corner, why? That's just kind of awkward. Hold down the space bar, move it in the center and work in the center. Now let's turn off all the layers except for green skin texture. And that's just with the eyeball. Now we got this green skin texture. And I'm going to go back to the move tool because then that, shows it. Oh, and I've clicked on it. And then see, this is what it is. This is where it goes. Now we need to do some adjustments. So we're going to free transform. We're going to get it to fit better. And then we're going to make some other adjustments with some smart filters. So as you can tell, it's too big. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. because I'm looking at the eyes. This is where the artistry comes in. This is where you need to look. So it's one thing to do it. It's another thing to like get it as good as you can. Like kind of sit there and massage it and play with it. So I'm just going to drag from a corner. And what I'm going to look at, I'm going to drag, move, drag, move, drag, move. And I'm looking at the eyes. And I'm going to get those eyes lined up. So I got one eye lined up, and I'm going to go to the other one and just make it smaller. I want both eyes peeking through. I don't want to lose my handlebars up here. So I could zoom in a little bit more depending on my accuracy. Again, zoom in. I'm dragging it down so I know I can see those transform bars. And I'm sure some of you, it's very hard to see those blue bars up there, but I'm just going to kind of keep reducing it. And we know that somebody in Photoshop made this, so it should fit pretty darn exact. I'm going to go with like one more. You can look at his mouth too. See how the mouth, the crease of the mouth is right here? That should also fit his mouth. So if I line up his mouth, his eyes are off. So I'm going to keep going smaller. And again, this is about the artistry of it. How do you do it right? You just keep making it smaller until it fits perfectly. Little hits at a time is all you need to do. I'm pretty happy with that. As you can see, my mouth is pretty well lined up and my eyes are really well lined up. And then my nose, the weird part of his nose is pretty good too. And I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to get it nicely centered there. Like now I'm really nitpicking. And if you need to use the arrow keys on your keyboard, you can nudge by like single pixels. I do this all the time, and you'll hear me talk and I'll be like, oh, just tap it over 2. And you're like, what the hell does that mean? It means use your arrow key and like tap it twice and it'll be perfect. Like it moves a pixel at a time. I use it all the time. Like seriously, I have a separate set of keys that I have the arrow keys put on because I do this in every program. Like if you're done with the mouse, then you just use the arrow key and I lean way in and I just hit a couple taps with the arrow keys to get it like perfectly centered. All right. Let's apply a smart filter. So we are going to make sure we're selected on the green skin texture. And then we're going to go to filter, convert for smart filters. So filter, convert for smart filters. I'm just going to hit OK. Now it added that little smart box down in the corner, and that's how we know it. And then it took off the red indicator. All right. Now we're going to go to filter and liquify. All right. Now I get a separate pop-up screen right here. And again, first thing I'm going to do is zoom in, which is always kind of like the bottom. I'm just going to zoom in. Whoa. And I'm going to back out. All the same things happen here. Now I want to be able to see the background. Liquify. Into liquify. All right. Now we want this face aware liquify group option is expanded so we can see it. See what I mean? Like right there. So it's brush tool options, face aware liquify. Like open that up so we can see everything there. And then we're going to select the show backdrop. So show backdrop is this down here. See where I'm circling? Because then we can see the guy's face in there. And I'm actually going to turn my opacity up to 100. I want to be able to really see it because if I'm going to be messing I want to be able to see through it. So there's the opacity right here. So show backdrop, opacity is at 100. Now we can start. Well, they say 75, but I went up to 100. What nuts to them. Now I'm going to take this warp tool. The warp tool is like the finger pushing. And we're going to, yes. Oh.
No.
Okay.
Hair in the eye, that's all. And pointers. If anyone's touching that screen,
yeah,
we have a way to reduce that.
Now we're going to set in the brush tool options. We want the size to a 150. So the very first size 150. And the pressure to 75. The what in? Oh, down here, show backdrop. And then I cranked mine. They say 75. I do it to 100. Now we can start to pull and prod. So we're going to pull the eyebrow down.
Is that warp that you were in?
Face aware liquefied.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Are we on this page? Or are we still further back?
No, we're there.
All right. So now, oh, what does that mean? Now I'm trying to click and drag down, and it is not. Oh, shoot. Look at that. It did work. So my preview, my computer is stalling out. Ah, see what it did? Okay.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
All right. So for some reason, my background preview isn't allowing it to do what it's there. Okay. So I did have to reduce my opacity. My opacity was too high and the computer processing power wasn't high enough. And so I wasn't able to like start to move, but see how I can like squash. He's either, I've got an idea, or we can bring it down to make him like seem sleepy. So like bring it down a little bit. And what we're doing is just grabbing sections of eye and moving it around. And you can have some fun. Like, which side? What do we want to do? The right eyebrow down to close the eye, the open eye, then pull from under the eye. So like we're kind of like, you go up and down. They kind of want them to like be more squinty. I just, just play around. I'm going to zoom mine back up. So see how mine's now squinty? It's so weird that it reverses when the more opacity I put on it, it takes off what I did, but slowly it morphs it. That's pretty cool. I wish it didn't do that. I wish we had that system. All right. When you close the gap around the eyes, hit OK. So now my guy, I'm going to move mine off so you can see that he's now squintier than he was. See, I shut his eyes, each eye a little bit. And again, that's just, it's about, is there a correct way? No, you're just kind of like, oh, we did the original thing and the eyes are too open. I want to close them up. Here's a way to do that, like a way to modify your designs. So now we're going to go to the green nose stitches. And we're going to make sure that we're selected on that layer. As I always forget, I'm going to click on auto select now. And then it's just, we're going to start to place our images and then get them in line. Place, get them in line. Place, get them in line. And then we'll do that with all the pieces, and then we're going to start to colorize. So it's pretty much Yeah, I don't think we do anything. We just kind of move, transform, until we have a Frankenstein head. So I'm going to work from bottom up. Get the nose on there. As we can see, the nose it's too big. So we're going to transform it, and I'm going to look for consistencies. Right here, see this line? Matches with this line. All right? And I'm going to try to get those perfect. And I'm just going to slowly go from a corner with the transform tool. And you can see in the middle of his brow and stuff like that, like you can get it so it's almost perfectly lined up with markers that you have already created. So I'm looking for here, and then in the mouth. Anything that you can get things to line up and get it really good, and then you're done. Then go to green neck stitches. If you have to zoom out to see where those are, zoom out. Turn them on so you can actually see them. Go down. Here it is. Let's see here. I see a matchup with this mark here and this mark here. The people who did this left little clues. We don't really get clues all the time in real life. So we're just going to kind of keep going. Again, if you like, so I'm just looking, and you use the arrow keys if you need to, and I'm just looking for matchups. I find one matchup, and then I'm going to kind of leave it. If it looks good and I don't see any weird doubling, I'm going to let that go. And like in a good way, like move on. Green ear staples. Let's get that on the side of his head. Again, there's like a lot of clues for sizing. And then just sizing and looking. If you got to zoom in, zoom in. So if I do this, it's still too big. It looks like it's lined up, but it's sticking way off the side of his head. So I want to bring it in even more. All right. Not really. This one's not matching. Oh, here. This does stick up quite a bit. Now that I see the matchups. Yeah, this one is that weird. Okay. Well, there we go. I'll leave it at that. We'll see what happens. I may need to readjust that. But guess what? It's Photoshop. We can readjust it as needed. So I turned on the hair now. Like I'm just moving to the forehead. And I'm too close in. So I'm going to hit Command minus. And then I'll hit the space bar and move it down. Like all these things to not have to get to extra tools. Now that looks great. Just kidding. Get it resized. Again, this is just moving around, dancing around, squinting at it. I think that looks pretty good. Add in the bolts. Gonna zoom out more. Now you gotta find those bolts, zoom out more. One on each side of the neck. Finally, the hair. How's everybody doing? We getting to this point? Is everybody kind of getting up here?
Oh, it's a little
We got time. This is like all about practice. It's doing the same thing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times.
And if you're not putting this car in reverse, it's across like the steps.
Oh,
Okay, good. Oh, yeah, thanks.
all right. So what I'm going to do is we're going to move on to the next one. And we're going to go back into our smart filter, the liquefy one, and make it make it more squishy. That's what we're doing. We're just experimenting now. So we'll see how it goes on my system here. But all you have to do is just double click on the smart filter and it's going to bring you back to here. So I'm going to hit cancel as it was right here. What do you mean? Click on the one that you had open. This is the one. So it's in your layer panel already. Just double click. And it will open up. So I'm going to zoom in. Again, that's not a scrubby zoom now, which I don't know why it changed. We'll do this. And then select the pucker tool and click on the outer corner of the eye. So the pucker tool is like the 4th one down. And then all I did was click. All right. I love that. So literally the pucker tool, 4th one down, go over his eye and tap. So see how the circle's on his eye? Tap once and watch what happens. He starts to give you the stink eye. So you can go as far as you want. But see, all I'm doing, I'm just letting the computer do the work. I just clicked until you're satisfied with the stink eye. And then the bloat tool on the outer edge of the eyebrow to expand it. Why? Why? And then you can just play around. Let's do it like, I don't like that one. I'll make one eye more open and one eye more closed. There. That's what I'm going to do. Take a minute or two and take a minute or two and just kind of play around. And when you're satisfied, hit OK. Yours doesn't have to look like mine. We all satisfied with our amount of facial distortion?
Some of them look way too kind.
Ah, that's all right. All right, so next up, we're going to click on the Franken layer, the very first layer. We're going to make sure that's selected because we want to add a layer above it. So make sure you're on the lowest layer here, And then all we're going to do is hit the plus. We're making a blank layer, basically. But we want that blank layer. We want to know where it is. Now we're going to work on some tools. We're going to do some switching back and forth. And then we're going to paint a little bit. So I'm kind of confused by the order that they always do this in. It seems like they always give us this in a reverse order. Like, I would make all the selections first and then go to my tool, but they want us to do the tool first. So we're going to select the brush tool. The brush looks like a brush. I can't explain it any more than that. Which tool? You know, it looks like a paintbrush. It's a brush. We want a 60 pixel brush with a hardness of 0. Well, how do I do that? Up at the very top, there's a brush. And then a 7. If I click on the little arrow down, it will give me the size. So I can do the slider to 60. Or you can just type it in. Hardness is at 0. So that gives you a soft brush. No, is that the hard?
I have to do it every time.
It's a soft brush. So it makes it soft. There are those things, like Sherry said. To this day, there are certain things in certain programs, I have no idea what it does. And each time I do it, and I do it a lot, I have to do it and then look at it. Like 30 years later, I still don't have it memorized. It's very weird. I don't know why there's like some just not quite intuitive about it. That I'm like, is 0 soft or is 100% soft? Like, I could think of it either way.
Because I think in Camera Raw, they do the other way.
Oh,
Yeah.
they do that.
Whatever way that is.
Yeah,
it's the other way.
that's like sizing. In
Yeah.
Photoshop, you no longer have to hold shift. In all the other programs now, you have to hold shift. All right. Now we need to pick a green. So this is a really great tip in general. And I'm just going to click on the eyedropper. Why do they have us hold down Alt or Option to temporarily switch whatever. Just switch to the eyedropper tool, which looks like a little eyedropper, which I'm not seeing. Here it is. So when you are working on a photograph and you're dealing with certain like color situations, you're like, oh, I need to make that part green. And we want to make the guy green. And there's stuff in the picture that's already green. Sample from your photograph. Don't add in a new color green. It will seem off. So like whenever I'm working, and actually I think Photoshop or Adobe can do this, like it will take a photograph that you take and you can somehow ask for like a palette of 4 colors, and it will like look at the photo and be like, here are 4 colors based on your photo. And then that way, when you add text or you want to add like a color bar or something like that, it's pulling directly from the photo and they'll match and look really good, instead of like being like, that red seems a little off comparatively. Like just grab right from that photo. And then that way you're not introducing something new. So that's like heavy composition talk right there, but that's the way to do it. So we're going to grab the eyedropper tool, and the eyedropper is going to sample. It is a way to sample a color from an area, and we just want the green. Now, I'm holding down. So what it's showing is the gray circle is a neutral gray. That's 50% gray. It's supposed to help our eyes neutrally avoid what's around it. The lower half of that, mine is white, is the color I'm replacing. So I let go. Here it used to be white. So when I click, so now it's green. Or if I go to black, it's black here. And so I'm replacing the lower color with the upper color. Now you can click and hold and move around, and you can see my upper color changes. And you pick the exact color you want to the exact pixel. Like if you're like, I want the darkest green on the face, like find it and go to it. Like that gets orangey, but like right there, I think I'm going to pick that color. And then I let go, and now it's in my color palette. And that's how that tool works, the eyedropper tool. It gives you a neutral gray, what you're going to change it to, and what it was. So every time you use it, that's why it's that big, giant circle. All right, now we are going to click on Franken, but we're going to hold down our command key, and we're going to click on the image. I'm going to zoom out so you can see it. So I'm on the layer. I'm going to hold down command. And as you can see, when I hold down command, I get the dotted lines. See that little box on my hand? And that means it's going to select the pixels within that layer. I don't do this trick enough. Like, I know about it, but I never do it. And I always do it a convoluted way. It's one of those, like, I just have to remember there's an easier way. It's a one click. Like for me, I'd go and I'd take like the magic wand, and then I'd select all, and then I'd go to select and inverse and like do all this stupid stuff. Like, this is a super great way to just select what's on your layer. So if you remember anything, like kind of remember that one. Oh, I need to select it to do stuff. So what it did is it made a selection. Here's the key. Do not forget to do this. Oh, wait, we forgot to do something too.
And it's as
Okay.
simple as selecting that layer, hitting the command, and getting the marching ants.
Yeah, and then clicking on the image. Like clicking on the image box. Like right here. You have to click.
Okay, okay.
You have to click on the little thumbnail image, not on the name. If I hold it down, if I'm on the name, nothing's there. If I slow, I'm still holding it, boom. The select thing comes on. So now I have my layer 1 selected. I'm going to go up and change the blend mode. And that's where that word normal is. And we're going to change it to color.
Okay, if you're not seeing those marching ants, Joel.
All right. Are you selected on the layer? Yeah, just click. There. They're there. See them? Yeah. They're there. We got them. They're small. Marching ants.
Holy cow, there they are. All right.
Yeah. I mean, ants are small. So, all right, layer 1, we have the blend mode on color. Make sure we're selected on layer 1. Make sure you are not on Franken. We do not want to paint directly on the image. 2 people will do it. I'm going to tell me when you mistakenly painted on the wrong layer. And then we're going to go back to the paintbrush and just paint. And you can be all sloppy. Look at that. And it's just going to turn him green. Now, be sloppy to a point. And I'll show you why. Because we can go back and erase. But one, we're coloring him in. You really only want to paint his flesh. Because if I go in, zoom in, and I start to paint his shirt, it will change the color of his shirt. We don't necessarily want that. We just want his skin to change, right? It's not like his shirt is green. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to erase that. Just go back. Just going to erase that. You can change I'm going to change this to 6.
We got one.
Somebody painted on it on the wrong layer. I knew somebody. See? Who else? I need a second person to do that. So
I'll snitch.
yeah. No, it's just like, yeah, make sure that you're painting. And see how my layer is showing the hand is turning green? Oops. So I'm only going to paint where the skin is. I'm going to do both hands. And then the face only. I'm not going to do the shirt. There's no reason to do the shirt. Don't waste those precious arm calories. And then I'm going to go back in. and fix my mistakes. Joel, you make mistakes? Yeah, once in a while. So with everything still selected, I'm going to zoom in and start looking at stuff. Frankenstein's monster, that is his true name, he has no name, is apparently married. And we don't want a green ring. So I'm going to erase the green from the ring. And I'm literally just going to use the erase tool. You can set it and adjust it how you need. But he's got bling. Show it off. The watch band. Let's erase the green from the watch band. These are the details. Because we're working on a Halloween one. The devil is in the details. So like when you work on Photoshop stuff, these are the little things that you can do to get right, that when people look at it, they're going to question and just think about it and be like, wow, not, oh, you Photoshopped that, but, oh, wow, that's really good. It's because you did stuff like made sure the ring was not covered and that, and then we're going to do the eyeballs. I colored over his eyeballs. Let's get those baby blues back. And all I'm going to do is just like erase. Look at that. Ooh, just a little bit of that bloodshottiness in there. And all I'm doing is tapping. Just going in there and tapping. Expose those eyes. I think I did some crap over here. Like, let's get rid of this off his shirt. Looks like he spilled pea soup on his collar. Get this stuff. Cleaned up. Check his hand. Oh, you know, it is not a lonely monster either. Got a little friendship bracelet we got to clean up. From 20 years ago. And all I'm going, I have like a pretty big brush. I'm literally tapping. I've got it centered and I'm just tapping. I'm not drawing a line because I'm not steady enough. So I'm just tapping right along that friendship bracelet. Somebody from the village must like him. They gave him a friendship bracelet. The only person not carrying a torch. All right. When you're satisfied, you're done. What do we want to do? All right. Let's add in the background. So I'm going to deselect everything. Oh, you know what? Now I just realized I missed like a little part. I'm going to go in and fix this little part. I don't care that like I can just change the brush size and just get that. There you go. Otherwise that would drive you nuts. All right, we're going to flatten our layers. I don't know why. I don't know if I would necessarily do this in the working world. They want us to flatten what we've done so far. I almost want to say don't. I don't think it affects the rest of what we're going to work on. So I don't think it's good practice. The reason I don't think it's good practice is that we want to work non-destructive, and you always want to go back. Like you'll give the client the flattened version, but if the client came and was like, you did all this work and they were like, you know, can you like change this one thing? And you'll be like, it's flattened. I have to start over to make the change. So if you can keep all the layers, if you have a computer that's processing power is big enough and all that stuff, keep all your layers. I don't think I would necessarily like merge them down. We can do a folder. Why don't we do a folder? So I'm just gonna, this is new, outside of the book. I do this. I go outside of the book. Let's just make a folder. So I'm gonna click down here and it creates a group folder. You can bring it up to the top and I'm gonna call that monster. And then I'm gonna click on Franken, hold down shift, click them all, and then just drag them into that. And then that way, monster's in its own folder. And when you open that folder, like you click down, it's all there for you. And it's not flattened. And I could continue to be like, you know, anything I want to do. If I wanted to be like, I'm going to take the hair and I'm going to give it a faux hawk. There we go. Now he's hipster. But like I can do that just on the hair and know that it's like a separate piece. That's a better non-destructive way. Because then it's just in a folder. So we'll just keep it at that. All right, choose file, open, navigate to open, let's open up our background. File, open. Now I'm going to go to on my computer. I'm going to go to lessons, lesson 9, backdrop, not end, backdrop, open. I'm going to go to view. I'm going to go to window, arrange to a vertical. And I'm going to just pull that over. I'm going to pull the, oh, this is why. This is why. But no, I can still do it. We're going to pull the monster. So I'm going to make sure I'm on Untitled 1. I'm going to pull that folder into the backdrop. So now, as you can see, I'm going to close out and not save. I'm nervous about that. But I have all my layers. I shouldn't be nervous. Don't save. Dun, dun, dun. All right. So now I have my monster. Do we know where we're at? Do you understand where I deviated and made a folder instead of flattening everything?
Okay,
No, I
so
can't
that's
move.
where she's at.
Yeah, I can't move, like, what do I select to move everything into the folder?
Oh, you just select them. So did you create a folder?
Yeah, I don't know.
All right. Oh, this is the easy part. Just hold on shift. Grab them all. Oh, because you have one on top. Okay. So they're all selected.
Okay, I'm
And then here, and then you just do it. It lit up, and now they're all in there.
Okay.
It's a very small indicator. Like a line shows up here and here. That's very light blue when you put something in. I'll see if I can do it. And the fact is, like, they use blue as the indicator on everything. See that line that shows up? That's kind of like indicating there. It's very hard to see. You just have to trust the process. All right. So we pulled the monster into the background, not the background to the monster. So you can just grab the folder and pull it into the background image. Don't do the reverse. So select, yeah, just as simple as that. There you go. Does that make sense for everybody? Where are you stuck at? The folders?
Yes.
All right, did you create a folder? All right, down in the bottom here. See that folder? Click it. All right, we got a folder. Now select all of your.
Where'd you go, buddy?
All right, shift. And then kind of like, here, let me drive for a second and show you. So I'm going to click on one, and then I'm going to scroll. So that one's activated, right? I'm going to hold down shift and click on this one. Now they're all activated. Kind of free. And all I have to do is click and drag. And then when it kind of goes blue all the way around, I let go.
Where'd you file?
Now I have a folder group.
Can you
Then what
Squeeze that
is,
so that we can see your.
so I'm gonna go to window,
A layers panel.
to a vertical,
Right, but we need that.
and
back
all I
as well.
need to do is
So
grab
first
this
of all,
screw
close this
and just pull it right here.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
It's good.
Oh, whatever you think is good. This is the artistry, it's up to you. Yes.
I have some, I know how to do things. For whatever reason, I couldn't get back on the smart filters to push and everything else.
Well, looks like you
No,
did.
they're all in. No, I
In
didn't,
there.
because like for the other things, if that makes sense. Oh,
You just double click.
I did that, and that, I didn't get anything popped up.
You didn't,
Okay.
you single click. You were like,
Am I missing something?
Thank you.
When it comes to putting his head on.
keep bringing it down, and then size it. So you're gonna have to change, you're gonna have to like work with it. Like, nothing is at the correct size. You make it the correct size. You are the artist.
Alright.
There's a point at to which you have all the tools available to you. You have to make it look good according to you, instead of me telling you what looks good. So, does it look good to you? If it doesn't, keep adjusting. All right, so we got our guy in the background. What?
You have to go back to your files.
Go back into the original files. Backdrop.psd. It's all right. We got a minute. We got some time. So I'll just talk about the next part. So the next part about this project, there's two next parts. They both make me roll my eyes because one of them, we're going to add this tombstone and we're going to do 50 things to it. And then we're going to show you that in history panels, you can undo everything you just did. And we're going to do one thing to it and place it in. So it's a lot of like, do this, then do this, then do this, then do this. Hey, look, we're going to undo all of that. So it's Photoshop teaching us that we can undo our work in more than one way. There's undo and then there's histories panel. I rarely use the history panels, mainly because I don't think I'm ever like super far into a project where I'm like, I need to, if I'm going to start over, I'm going to start over and not really go like halfway start over. But it just depends on how you work. It's good to know both. And then the second thing we're going to do is we're going to try to make a low res look high res. And I'm pretty against that. Things are better. The way we do it for this project is fine, but it's not something you would normally do on a daily basis. Because you'll get, people will contact you as a photographer and they'll be like, I have this picture that I took from 10 years ago and it's really small. Can you make it look better? And you're gonna be like, this is like 32 pixels. I can't do anything. And then you got to tell them that. And they're like, no, but you have Photoshop. Can't you just make it look better? You're like, no, it is 32 pixels. I can't do anything. You took it back in the day when digital cameras were like a toy and not a thing. Oh, I thought you could do anything in Photoshop. No, we can do anything but magically create pixels that weren't there to a point. So, all right, I'm going to move on. We're going to make a tombstone. I'm going to go to File, Open, and we're going back, and we're going to open t1.psd. And then I've never done this. It says click D. Just tap the D on the keyboard. And what that did is it took my foreground and background color and automatically switches them to black and white. It's another one of those things I never do. I always forget about, and I just always hit this thing right here. So if you hit this tiny one, it does what hitting the keyboard D does. And I don't think my brain wants to remember the D, so I just always click that. It's just as easy to me. So we just go to black and white. Now we're gonna go to choose filter, render, difference cloud. And all it's gonna do is add a cool effect. But again, we're gonna undo all these under. Anyway, so it gets you to see what some of these are. Render and difference clouds, yeah. Ooh, now it looks spookier. All right, so now we're gonna choose filter, blur gallery, iris blur. So filter, blur gallery, iris blur. And what that's gonna do is, can you see that? Oh yeah, you can see mine. There's a circle. And everything inside the circle slowly becomes more in focus, and everything outside of the circle is considered out of focus. So we can change and move this circle around and make it different sizes by grabbing those different nodes and like whatever you want to do, you know, like make it small, drag it up. See if I drag it up to this corner, make it bigger, you know, like an oval, we can kind of switch how that blur is going. So it's like really focused on the angel, and then it's on the RIP, and then it slowly blurs out. So that's an iris blur, they call it. I use probably my most used blur is Gaussian blur, and I use it just like pinpointing or getting two images to blend a little bit better. It's a favorite of mine. There's some of these nice blur techniques. This is pretty good. I mean, you have to have the time and place, and generally here we're gonna overdo it. And generally when you're doing like stuff like blurs, it's like really like, I go down to like 0.2 of something, like really delicate work on that. So there we go. We got it. We got that done. Let's change the brightness and contrast. So I'm just gonna hit OK. So now I got my iris blurred down. And then in the adjustments panel, scroll down the single adjustment list and click brightness and contrast. I redid this, so I have to go to window in adjustments. And I'll add that up here. And I want to go to single adjustment layer. One. Oh, it is on single adjustment, excuse me. And brightness and contrast. And that's just over here. And what are we going to change it to? 70. Brightness slider to 70. Remember, we're doing a lot of this work, and then we're just going to undo it. But as you can see, you know, run those sliders back and forth. See what they do. And just kind of, a lot of this is like, remember it for the future. Like, oh, they did that thing. Like, what does it do? How does it affect when I move these sliders? How does it affect my image? And a lot of times cranking it is the way to see what it does. And then you're like, oh, I don't want it that far. Let's like bring it back. Now, the next thing we're going to do in the click on the channel mixer. And then we want to change it to green. Wait, no, I always do this one wrong. Green. And then we're going to change it. See how when I move that, we want to change it 37 in blue to 108. There we go. So see how I changed my colors on this? Why do they keep making us do this? This is ridiculous. Now we're going to do exposure. Like, how many things do we need to do to show that we can go back in history? All right, now I'm going to click on exposure and go plus 0.9 plus. So I'm just going to type in 0.9. So it really like makes it horrible looking. Okay, I don't know. Boy, oh boy, we sure did a lot of work. I think it looks like crap. So we can go and undo that work. How do we do this? We go to Window and History. All right. So now, when I pull down history, we can see absolutely every move that we've made along the way. And you can click in certain areas and go back or be like, oh, that's where I did that, but here, maybe I like it here or here. So it gives you an opportunity to like kind of like pick your undo level more visually than just like undoing once or twice. So that's what the history panel lets you do. I think back in the day, histories was set at a certain number, like 100. It actually used to be 10, like back in the day. It is now, I think, defaulted at 100. Let's see. Oh, I don't know. I can't remember. I think you do that in preferences. But again, we can go back. You can like double check what you worked on and like, okay, did I like it back here? It gives you just that opportunity to go back and look at what you were doing. Okay, click to modify. All right, so we're going to go back all the way to difference clouds now. So we're going back to the very first one, and then we're going to go to filter, noise, add noise. Filter, noise, add noise. And that's going to add a texture. I do this one every once in a while. It's kind of neat. It helps things blend in a little bit. The amount we want is only 3%. So again, you work very small amounts with a lot of this stuff. And then we want to make sure it's on Gaussian and monochromatic. We don't want to add any extra color to that. And then we're going to hit OK. We're going to hit Window, Arrange to a vertical. And then we're just going to pull our tombstone into our piece. I got a error message, which I don't care. I'm just going to hit OK. And then we'll put that. I'm going to put that behind everybody. Do we rescale this one? That's pretty good. Yeah. Good. I'm just trying to see something. Huh. All right, good enough. All right, improving a low-res image. Don't do this. Don't save. All right, so we're going to open our final piece. File, open, and it's faces. Open. We got this piece, and it's low-res. And as you can see, we know it's low-res because it's just very pixelated. There's no, it's pixelated. I can't say it any better than that. There's no sharp edges. It's pixelated. So it doesn't look good. So we're going to go choose filter, neutral filters, skip tour. Okay. So filter, neural, not neutral, neural filters. I've never done this. This is new. Skip tour. Holy cow. This is new to me. Okay. In the all filters list, click super zoom to select it. What? Super zoom. Okay. So I clicked on super zoom. And then click download. Okay, download. Oh, crap. Is this going to work for people? Tell me if it doesn't work, if this is like one of those settings that MATC doesn't have on the corporate.
Do you like the way the format's?
Did it work?
Hold on, but then I can't get, I have that crossed off, but then, oh, I missed it. So instead of doing,
This is what you do. I don't care what you do. This is what you do.
Are we good?
No,
what you mean now?
Okay.
it's not working. It's not
This is like a 3-click process. This is very weird. All right, I'm gonna move. I'm gonna keep going.
Yes, you should. This is.
So we clicked on it and it downloaded. And what it did is it downloaded like a little app for Super Zoom. This is fun. Did anybody see the Dogman movie yet? I watched it this weekend. Super Zoom. You have to have kids to get it. So I did Super Zoom, downloaded it. It came up with this. Now we are going to, at the bottom, the output is set to new document. Under Super Zoom preview on the right, click zoom icon until the label says it is 3x. Okay, one, there, 3x. So right here, zoom image 3x. I click the plus. Make sure enhance image details, remove JPEG artifacts, and enhance face details are selected. Okay. It's processing. It's actually cleaning it up. You can still tell certain areas are like mushy, but it smoothed everything out. And then enhance image details, remove JPEG artifacts, enhance data, and then set noise reduction to 3. So I'm going to do noise reduction to 3. So this is what it started as. This is what it's going to. Oh, click the show original. Wait, where's that? Okay, show original is this little button down here. So that's what it was. That's what it did. It's good. It's not great. I wouldn't use that for a high res. Can you see that difference that it makes? Pixels, no pixels. Looks like a lot of freckles. No more freckles. All right. Click OK. All right, did it. Choose select all and then copy. All right, so this is a weird part. All right, I don't like this part of the. All right, so I'm going to close out history. We have our new image that's been super zoomed, as they call it, and we are going to now place this into our image. We are almost done. Don't worry. So I am going to go to select all, and then I'm going to go to edit and copy. Nothing's going to happen. You'll see nothing happen as of now. Now, I'm going to go to my movie poster, right? We're back to our original movie poster. I'm going to select the elliptical marquee tool. So I'm going to hold down the square one, go to elliptical. And before I do anything, because 3 people will screw this one up, I'm going to set my feather to 50% or 50, not 50%. So up there in feather it should say 50. And I'm going to draw an oval up here. And then I'm going to make sure which layer I'm on. I'm going to go on title. Okay, so I'm going to draw an oval. And I'm going to get the oval where I want it. Like kind of like right there. That should be good. I'm going to make a layer. And then I'm going to go to Edit, Paste Special, and then Paste Into. Don't show again. I'm going to hit OK. So it did it. Mine was too big. My image. So what I'm going to do. So see how I have. It's like kind of blurred around it, but not totally. I'm going to make my image bigger by clicking on the, not the, oh, you can do either one. I could make my mask smaller or my image bigger. I'm going to make my image bigger so they're blurred out. See how like now they have, there's no like flat line around them. It's a little bit showing still. There we go. Does that make sense? I want that oval to be real soft. All right. We select the move tool. We got that all good. And then on that layer from the layers panel, we're going to choose luminosity from the blending mode and opacity of 50. Oh, the very bottom one. And then opacity at 50%. And I'm going to move it down. Oh, wait. How come it's not? Oh, it's not linked. Let me show you something that I just, so something to know when you have these masks here is if I, even though I'm like on this layer and I go to move it, it's not moving the mask. See how like it's only moving the image? I don't have them linked or crossed over. And all you have to do is just click right in the middle. And if I click in the middle of those, it adds a little chain. And then now when I move it, it moves the mask with it. That's a good thing to remember. All right. You have created the Curse of the Frankenstein movie poster. Now, when you do this, there's modifications. Just saying. I just do it normal. I give you guys the modified version to do for your homework. Read up on it. All right. Let's talk about the matching project. It's fun. It's a little bit silly, and I have the worst. I found like, to me, it's hilarious. Student example. All right. You're going to make tiny compositions. So does everybody like use some sort of music service like iTunes or Spotify? They always have a thumbnail. The thumbnail is like of the band or the singer, and it has their name, and it has a background, and it has whatever, and it's just the promotional image that they use. Well, these can change. You know, one artist has 7 singles for their album. They may change that image a bunch. And so I want you to pick your favorite artist and create 5 little thumbnail compositions for Spotify. What do I mean by that? Let's show you. Everybody loves the Bieber.
Bieber.
So I want a single image. So find one image. Then what's going to change is the background and settings. So it's the same you know, composition. We have one image, but we've changed it 5 different times to quote unquote reflect 5 different songs that the Biebs is putting out for his album. And that's what I want you to create. Pick your favorite artist, pick a single image of that artist, clip them out, find backgrounds, make color adjustments, have the artist's name, and any other little bits and pieces you want in there to create these compositions. Yes.
So in these examples, the name and the little smiley face stay the same. Do we have to do like that as well? Like keep the name, or can we adjust it?
No, that can adjust.
Okay.
Yeah. But, you know, just saying, no, how hard do you want to make it? Yeah. But yeah, you can move things around. Yeah, if it doesn't fit the composition. All of the parameters are here. Sizes, create a 1200 by 1200 pixel document. So it's square. Find an image of a musician or musicians you want to use for the project. You'll use this single consistent image. Find the musician or band's logo or type their name. Sometimes they have a logo. You can find it. One of those hardcore bands really like those messy logos. Everybody know what I'm talking about? Like you can't read them. If you want to cut that out and put it in, go for it. Do that. 5 different backgrounds. And then that will create your 5 different covers for, you know, Spotify or whatever we're calling it. And I want them exported each separately. Now you can do that easily with one document. You can just export. If you save in layers, like you do not need to create 5 documents. You create like the one. So this is where like kind of like the manufacturing comes in of I need to make 5 of these. I'll cut out Justin. I cut him out once. So we'll use Frank. I got this done. And you know what? I'm not doing again. What I'm going to do is I'll change the background. So this is background 1. And then I'm going to go plus and let's see if I can do it. I'm going to put the Biebs in the back. I'm just doing this just to show you what you can do. You know, like whatever. There's the next background. And I call this like background 2. And then I would do that again. I'd have a third back. Like, so all my backgrounds and stuff, like you can create those little folders I told you about. So it's all one document. And then when I export, I turn off everything I don't want. So like this is export 1. And I go to File, Export, Export As. And I'm just going to do a JPEG. And then I hit Export. But I'm just going to make sure this is Music 1. I have the name. I don't know what it is. Whatever the correct naming thing is. Oh, iTunes _01. And then I'm going to make sure it's on my desktop. Save. And then all I do is I turn off that background and turn on the next one. And I go to File and then Export As. Export. And then I can just click on that one and then just type 2. And then save. And then so in that way, I have one document that is essentially 5 different album covers. And there's no reason to make 5 different documents if you're using the same image each time and all you're changing is like the background and some effects. Start using those folders and just kind of keep it all together. And then it's just like, it is a simpler process, but you have to be organized with your layers. Does that make sense, everybody?
Yes.
Cool.
So now we make an album cover or
5 of them.
5 of them?
Show me your chops. Just 1, whatever. So there you go. Yep. Do the assignments. The 2 assignments are the lesson 9 and then 5 iTunes covers. All listed in Blackboard for your convenience. I will be here until 2:30. to answer questions, help out, and do whatever you need.